Well, I guess I could get off this couch and teach you how to have the very best start in Star Citizen. This is the ultimate new player's beginner's guide for 2022, where we focus on progression, going from nothing to having everything. But before you can become a space bajillionaire, you are going to need to make yourself one hell of a studly looking avatar. I think this time I'm going to go with an older, wiser looking Hawks Gaming avatar. Of course I'm going to go with the ultimate looking hairdo. Of course I look like a pimp sauce. It's like you look at the guy and you just know that he knows how to make money. Once you have your avatar all created, it is now time to select your home starting location. Not exactly sure why it asks us to select a system since Stanton is the only one that's currently in right now, but oh well. Pick any one of these you want except for maybe Orison because it's such a pain in the butt to land and take off from there. I'm going to start in Lorville, the scummiest place in the verse. Once you log into Star Citizen for the very first time, you will find yourself in a little cramped apartment laying in a bed. The easiest way to get out of that bed is just to simply hold down Y on your keyboard. While exploring your room, if you ever hold down the F key and just kind of look at something, if it can be manipulated or used, it will highlight green. Hey, there's the couch I was sitting on in the beginning of the video. In order to get the heck on out of this room, you're going to hold down the F key to interact with the door lock and left click on it. It'll open the door for you. Oh yeah, Hurston is basically the biggest trash dump in the verse. You're going to love it here. Smells like old feet. Right now your speed is limited. See how I'm moving relatively slow? If you wheel up on your mouse, you can actually get into run mode. I wheeled up on my mouse a whole bunch. Look at the difference. If you hold down shift, you'll even sprint faster. You interact with the elevator exactly like you interacted with the door, and now just like any other elevator, we need to stand around and pick our nose waiting for it to get here. So we might as well open up our personal inventory. You can do this by pressing I on your keyboard. You will not have all the stuff that I have starting out. As you can see, I've played a little bit. Once inside the elevator, have it send you to the ground floor. Our adventure begins. Let's say you would like to experience the verse in third person. The easiest way to do that is just to hit F4. You can hold down Z, and as you see, I'm moving my mouse around. It kind of moves the camera around. Press F4 again, it'll bring up another third-person view, which is the further back view. I kind of like this one a little bit more often than not, so we're going to use that one. Even if this city is a complete and total dump, I really do love the skyline here in Hurston. Heck, you can even get one of your friends with a small ship to land right over there and pick you up. Ultimately, our first goal is to find the Metro Center so we can hitch a ride over to the Spaceport, where we can summon our ship, get in it, and then start making a whole crap load of money. One thing about Star Citizen you'll come to realize is it's all about the signs, so wherever you need to go, just follow the daggone signs. It's now time for your very first train ride. Every single one of the towns you start in, it doesn't matter which one you choose, will always have a tram that you're going to need to ride to the Spaceport. Which ironically is a huge time sink, sugar-coated in actual beauty. The devs did a really good job making these towns look glorious. Keep running, follow the signs until you find the Fleet Manager Terminal. From here you can summon any ship that you purchase with real world or in-game money. If I were to recommend a starter package for a new player that's contemplating buying Star Citizen, don't waste all your money. Get the ugliest ship in the verse, get the Aurora MR. It's a jack of all trades and can do pretty much everything. If you feel like you need to spend more money, then go ahead and get the Avenger Titan package. It's a better jack of all trades. Don't you worry your pretty little head off. Chris Roberts loves money so much that he'll let you upgrade your starter package to any ship you like, including the Cutlass Black, which is what I'm using in this video. Clicking the retrieve arrow will summon your ship to the nearest pad or hangar. In our case, it looks like it wants us to go to hangar 10. Follow the signs to your nearest elevator. It will take you to your ship, where I'm going to show you how to do a mission to completely and totally gear up, but first, I need to teach you how to fly. Yeah, this is that awkward moment when they spawn my little tiny Cutlass Black into the largest hangar in the game. This doesn't happen very often. It's kind of funny. Man, my legs are tired. Here's a piece of advice for you, my young Padawan learner. Whenever you are entering or exiting your ship, always take the opportunity to be the most paranoid person in the verse. The exception to this rule is when you're inside of a big giant hangar like this one, you are likely totally safe. Now, if you are out in the verse somewhere else, someone can get inside your ship and totally murk you, so it's not cool. Always be paranoid. So whenever you open or close the doors to your ship, definitely take the time to look around and make sure no one's close to you. Brace yourself, Padawan. We are about to take off for the very first time, which can be one of the most nerve-wracking experiences for the new player. Once you are in your chair, you can press R, which stands for Flight Ready. It turns on all your systems. Before we request takeoff, I'd like you to hit F1 to open up your Mobi-Glass, then open up your Contracts Manager. Make sure you are in the Generals tab, then click on Mercenaries. You're going to take the Security Contractor Evaluation as well as Call to Arms. The Evaluation mission will pay you $15K, which is absolutely glorious, and the Call to Arms will actually give you extra money for every single bad guy you murk. Once you have taken both missions, head over to the Accepted tab and just make sure that your Security Contract Evaluation mission is tracked. Once you have tracked the mission, it will give you a little location box. This is the exact place we need to go in order to snuff all those bad guys out. Let's now request a takeoff. You can do this in two different ways in 317. The old way, which I'm going to do because I'm old and set in my ways, is to hit F11, click on your Friends tab, then click on the landing service to request takeoff. Or you can head over to Options and set takeoff and landings to any key that you would like. You don't have to be lazy like me. You can press one button. It's nice. Just like on foot, if you want to fly your ship in third-person mode, just hit F4. Alright, now don't kill yourself. Spacebar is up. If you would like to retract your landing gear, you can just press N. Once we get out of this hangar, I'm going to show you the flight controls. Flying in Star Citizen is actually pretty in-depth, and it can get you killed if you're not careful. Let's get back into first person so I can show you the controls. If you see that red bar on the left hand side and I'm wheeling up and down, that is your speed limiter. Right now I'm going to set it to max. At the top right of your screen there is a satellite icon. This is the ever watchful eye of Space Santa Claus. He knows exactly who is being naughty as well as who is being nice. All crimes will be reported the instant they happen as long as the ever watchful eye of Santa Claus is up. If you don't see the satellite icon, it could mean that other players disabled Santa Claus's watchful eye. Be very careful during these moments. The Ghostbuster bullet icon means you are in an armistice zone. Players will not be able to pull weapons out in their ship or on foot if they are in an armistice zone. It's basically a safety area, for the most part. A player can be on the outside of an armistice zone, but still fire into it, so keep that in mind. Before we can quantum to our location, we definitely need to get out of the atmosphere, so get yourself at about a 90-degree angle, then engage your cruise control by pressing C. While I'm gaining altitude, I'll generally press F2, which opens up your system map. From there, I will find the location I need to go to and then target it. Once you have your location targeted, you will now be able to set your route. Once your route is set, you're going to be able to quantum jump directly to where you want to go. In order to spool your quantum drive, you will need to press B on your keyboard. In most cases in your noob ship, your spooling time will take longer than your calibration time, and your drive will not calibrate until you are aligned on the target. Once your drive is completely spooled and calibrated, you can engage it by holding down the B button. And why looky there is a red scumbag on our tail, just as we are engaging our quantum drive. Goodbye, Mr. Scumbag. Catch you later. Or Mrs. Scumbag. Hey, I'm not judging. You never know, really, in the verse. Yeah, so this is that awkward moment when I said I would teach you how to fly, but I only showed you how to go up and raise your landing gear, so let's get that sorted. To roll your ship to the left, you'll press Q. If you would like to roll your ship to the right, well, that's the E button. Standard FPS controls are in full effect. W will move your ship forward, S will move it backwards, D will move it to the right, and A will move it to the left. If you ever find yourself approaching your target too fast, well, you can just mash the X key. That's going to be your space brake, which I will most likely have to do as I approach the target because right now I am mashing my afterburner key, which is the left shift. You already know up is spacebar, but if you'd like to move down, you can hit the left control button. If you find yourself flying at night, well, you can toggle your lights on and off by pressing L. And for whatever reason, if you want to self-destruct your ship, well, you can do that by holding the back arrow button. As we land, let's go over a little intel on what this mission is all about. If you're a new player to Star Citizen, well, you're only going to start out with 20,000 AUEC, and that's not a lot of money. Even if you put in that code for 5,000 extra space bucks, well, gosh dang it, armor, weapons, and ammo, that stuff's super expensive. This mission, we're going to get a whole bunch of that stuff for free, and we're going to get paid to do it. Now, this tip is super important. Always turn off your engines by pressing I when you land. I'm serious. Don't forget to do this. Yep, totally screwed the pooch and forgot to buy a large backpack. Make sure you do that before you get here. I'll show you where you can get them later. Even though our main goal here is to kill bad guys, well, there's plenty of guards here to do that job for you, so you can actually just hang out and order a pizza if you want and let them do the work for you. If you want to do the lazy method, well, chill right here, right next to this daggone elevator, listen to all the gunshots while you eat your pizza. And I don't know about you guys, but I didn't come here to eat pizza. I'm going to go down there with the one clip that comes in my gun and one med stick because we're a freaking hero. Really hopeful these are not my famous last words before getting myself killed trying to shoot a best start video, because right now I'm totally terrified. You only have one weapon right now, so in order to pull that out, you just press 1 on your keyboard. If you'd like to be a sneaky bastard and crouch, hold down the left control. If you'd like to go into prone, just press X. Jump will be your space bar. If you'd like to lean around boxes to the left, you can push Q. If you want to lean to the right, just press E. If you ever want to reload your weapon, just press R. If you want to put it away, hold down R. See that dude over there? He is actually a good guy. He is a Herson guard. They will always be in yellow and kind of a gunmetal silver. Never kill those guys or it'll be a one-way ticket to jail. That's no fun. Pound you in the butt. That guy right there though, totally different story. He's a scumbag. You can definitely tell by the color of his armor. Put him down with extreme prejudice. And since we had call to arms selected, well, we got an extra 700 AUEC just for smoking that guy.
I see dead people.
Kind of being psycho right now. I only have 12 bullets left. I really need to get some armor on. I need to grab this guy's weapon here. We're going to get ourselves killed if we're not careful. These bad guys walk around all over the place. Holy Jesus, okay. There's like freaking weapons and armor and everything I need just like right there. And just about got ganked trying to put on this body armor. Alright, so I think he's hunkered down. I'm going to go over there and grab that shotgun. Hopefully he doesn't shoot me in the freaking back when I'm doing it. You sneaky little bastard. I didn't even see you creeping up on me when I was looting stuff. Take that. And yeah, you should always charge down a shotgun barrel with a machine gun and never fire a single shot. I guess just because he's a bad guy doesn't really make him a smart bad guy. Really quick, let's get the rest of this armor on. It could mean the matter between life and death, and I pretty much don't want to die making this video. This moment right here is where the backpack comes in clutch. You can't really take your helmet off to put another helmet on. I guess, you know, there's no oxygen inside this building or something, but for whatever reason, just make sure you bring a backpack here. It makes looting these helmets so much easier. The plan is definitely starting to come together. Besides that ugly newbie helmet I've got myself a new shotgun and a new set of armor I didn't have to spend a penny on. Poor guy ended up getting himself killed, and why looky there's a beautiful SMG laying on the ground. Sure would be a pity to leave that there and, you know, have it collect dust and go to waste. Might as well loot all of his ammo too. Dead people can't really reload guns anymore, so yeah, thank you, bro. Hey, are you looking at me? Yeah, I think he's looking at me. I have to say, it is actually kind of satisfying to totally stomp these guys with their own weapons and armor. Thanks, bros.
I reckon I'm gonna have to put you down.
Totally thought this was a Herson guard at first. Yep, then I took a shotgun blast right to the daggone chin. 30 SMG hugs later, I need to stop this bleeding. In order to do that, I need to press C, which will use my med stick. There we go. I almost died there, everybody. That would have been embarrassing. At this point, I'm just running back and forth, going to my ship, opening up my personal inventory, and dropping all the loot that I just looted directly into my ship. As you can see, you can even scavenge the Herson guards. That's right, they don't even care. Just loot it right in front of their friends. Made 3 more trips looting. I really wanted to get this medium outfit here, as well as grab all the helmets I could possibly find, weapons and ammo as well. I think I'm pretty stacked right now. I can afford to die multiple times at this point. Congratulations, Padawan. If you made it this far, you have stacked up enough money through the call to arms as well as completing this mission to start stage 2 of the money-making process, as well as have a whole bunch of fallback armor, weapons, and ammo. If you're greedy, you can sell all this stuff at the weapon and armor shops for a good decent amount of coin. And considering how much money we're fixing to make, I'm not going to sell any of this stuff. I'm going to keep it for my own personal use. Our next adventure will require us to survive in extremely hot temperatures. This is why this nice free heavy suit of armor is absolutely amazing. That in itself saves us around 20,000 AUEC, which we can put towards other purchases or rentals. Let's get the heck on out of here, apprentice. That's right, you've been promoted. Now don't get yourself killed on this next mission. Oh, before I forget, because it's important information and such, the more you do these security missions, the more they're going to pay out when you level up your rank. Eventually, you can get this stuff up to paying you 65,000 a mission if you can defeat 3 waves. Yeah, Hurston guards pretty much do most of it, unless you want to get in there and be greedy like I was. Our next stop is the Ambitious Dream Station, located in Cruel 1. You will want to make this your new home base location. I'll show you how to bind at the hospital later. We're going to store all of our weapons, armor, everything here, and if we die, that's where we're going to respawn at. Once you get close enough to the station, you'll need to contact them in order to land. Of course, you can do it the long, convoluted way I'm doing right now, or you can make that one button press macro that I was talking about earlier in the video. Don't be old and set in your ways like Hawks Gaming. As you approach the landing pad, make sure your gear is already down, and when you get close enough, you can just hold N and the ship will automatically land for you. This is the ultimate lazy man's way to repair and refuel your ship as the ship is landing for you. After you get all that sorted, make sure to turn off your engines again. When you end up storing your ship and pulling it back out the very next time, you'll just hit I to turn on your engines. You won't have to worry about doing the flight ready. This will have the added benefit of the instant your ship spawns out on the pad, it's already going to have full shields. You're going to be good to go. First things first, we need to trade all of the loot that we have stashed in our ship over to the local inventory of this space station. If we forget to do this and we end up blowing up, well, we just lost everything we just looted, and that would suck. Another important tidbit of information, you cannot transfer a daggone thing to your local inventory from your ship unless you are physically standing in your ship. The other thing that kind of sucks, and I hope they address this in the future, is you can only transfer one item at a time. Yep, there isn't a transfer all button. Enjoy that. We're going to quickly bind to this location, buy ourselves a new backpack, and rent 2 ships. Well, 1 in my case. Locate the medical clinic. It'll be right next to the main elevators. We're going to be using those in just a bit. Check in at the receptionist. It'll give us a room number, which we can transfer our medical records to. Looks like we need to find room 9. If you interact with the digital medical assistant, it will help you transfer your files over to this location from the city that you started in. Once you confirm this location by hitting the transfer imprint button, the very next time you die, you're going to spawn here instead of down in the city. No more train rides. Hop into the elevator and head over to the refinery. We're going to make some purchases in the mining support center. Hit up this refinery shop terminal here. We are going to purchase ourselves a backpack. Better late than never, I suppose, and probably not even going to use this for the rest of the video, but hey, we have a backpack now. If you want to grab a few med sticks or oxy pins, now would be the time, considering I forgot to show you that at the hospital, but hey, you can find them here under the miscellaneous section. If you can afford it, head over to the personal weapons sections. We are going to snag up the pyro multi-tool. Make sure to buy the tractor beam and the orbit mining attachments. If you forget to buy those attachments to install into your multi-tool, well, that multi-tool is basically a big giant paperweight and won't do you any good. Once you're done shopping, head over to the Vantage Rentals kiosk. You're going to rent a Cuddy Black if you don't already own one, as well as the Grey Cat Rock. You should only need to rent both of these ships for 1 day. That'll give you plenty of time to get us to stage 3 of the money-making process. I don't know about you, but I'm freaking famished. I think I'm going to grab myself one of these energy bars here, grab myself a drink, then we're going to get the heck on out of here and make some space bones. You can eat or drink if you have the item in your hands, or you can complete that exact same task from your personal inventory. Just make sure after you eat and drink to put your helmet back on. Trust me, the very first time I played, I did this. I drank, forgot to put my helmet on, went out and died in space. Before you leave, you might actually want to pack a lunch. We're going to be out in the field for quite a while. I'm going to grab myself some hot dogs, a few drinks. We're good to go. There are 2 really good places to mine Hadanite. One's going to be in the Hurston system over at Aberdeen. However, the glory hole of places to get Hadanite is going to be on Daymar. You'll want to head over to Shubin Mining Facility, SCD-1, to pick up your rock. Once you get here, land on the landing pad. You can leave the back door open if you want, as long as nobody's around. Then head over to this building that's trimmed in blue. Once inside the building, you can quickly summon your rock. Once you get inside the rock, you can power it up just like your ship by pressing R. Let the rallying begin. Like all good things in life, it's gonna be a tight fit, but trust me, I believe you can get it in there, cadet. Gain a bunch of altitude, spool your drive without plotting a course, then head over to OEM 1. Once you arrive at the OEM marker, stop spooling your drive by pressing B, then look directly down at Daymar. What you want to do is just pick some of those landmarks down there, like a set of mountains or some of that wavy looking sand texture down on the surface. Hadnite loves to spawn around these landmarks, not so much on the flat, desolate areas on Daymar. If you want 100% guarantee that you're going to be mining in the daylight, always make sure that you drop in at OEM 1 at any of the planets or moons. All OEM 1 markers will always face the sun. Once you get below 1,000 feet, press V to enter scan mode, then press tab to ping. What you're looking for is a small box to pop up that is less than 3,000 meters away. There's one right there that's guaranteed to be gems. In order to use your V scanner so you can tell what type of mineral it is without getting out of your ship, you need to fly nice and close. Once the gem icons pop up, you can actually use your V scan on them to tell exactly what type of mineral it is. To use your V scan, all you have to do is hold down the left mouse click, and why looky there, that's Hadnite. Unfortunately, it's on the side of a hill, which will cause all the gems to slide down the mountain surface. I'm just going to mine this to show you why you probably shouldn't mine this. Every single time you land, you want to make sure the ground is nice and level. You want that ramp to be able to open up all the way and touch the ground. This looks perfect. Definitely don't forget to kill your engines. So why do I keep telling you to turn off your engines? Well, it's quite simple. If there's ever any wind, your ship can get picked up, blown away, and then just kind of fly away and be gone forever. The other reason is players have been known to nudge people's ships just enough to get them to just kind of fly away, stranding you on the planet's surface. Yeah, this hill's pretty steep. The majority of these gems are most definitely going to slide down the hill, which will cause you to waste time. To turn on your mining laser, you will press M. If you want to switch over to extraction mode, you're going to right click on your mouse. All mining in Star Citizen is basically the same, from hand mining to rock mining to prospector mining. You'll have a laser power gauge on the left hand side. As you can see, I am wheeling up, adding more power to the laser, which heats up the rock itself. Your ultimate goal is to heat up the rock enough to keep it in the green zone. Try not to get it in the red zone too often, or the rock can and will blow up in your face, completely crushing your hopes and dreams for getting rich, because you'll be spawning at your nearest spawn point, which is that medical center. There we go, got her cracked, and lo and behold, there goes all my gems sliding down the mountainside. Cracking the final rock, there they go again, right down the hill. Well, at least a few of them are kind of stuck here in front of me. Let's vacuum suck those into the rock, then head on down to the hill and get the rest of those gems. Down at the bottom of the hill, collecting the majority of the gems. Here's the thing, if this wasn't located on the side of the hill, I'd already be loading my rock up into the cuddy and looking for another patch. This is mostly why I shouldn't have mined this. I could have easily found another patch of like 9 or 12 Hadnite. That's a heck of a lot better than 3 on the side of a mountain. Basically, in a nutshell, ain't nobody got time for that. Before loading your rock on the cuddy, make sure you press M again to stow your mining laser, or the thing's not going to fit. It'll be a little bit too tight. Even though tight is good, this time it wouldn't be good. Once you get your rock park, always make sure that you turn off the power. This ensures that the rock doesn't kind of bug out on you when you're trying to mine later. And out of sheer complete laziness, I'm going to leave my back ramp open. This way it helps me land just a little bit easier. I don't have to kind of guess about it. I know if the ramp's touching the ground. Generally, you can only get away with doing this if you know that nobody is around. Basically, I'm all alone. I'm in the middle of the boondocks. There's going to be no one near me. While cracking Hadnite, you're going to find that the most stable temperature to keep it at is around 39 to 45. It's so nice when it cracks and they're all just kind of right there and they don't have to chase all over the daggone planet to find them. Considering time is money, you need to find these patches quickly, which is super easy in 3.17, but more importantly, when it comes to sucking, you need to be top notch at your job, get it done as quick as you can, and move on to the next patch. Kind of skipping to the end because it's, all repetition and the exact same thing. If you get back to Crew L1, you can head to the gallery. We're going to go to the admin office to sell off all these gems. Ultimately, though, if you want to keep hamming out those trips going back and forth, just head over to the Shubin mining facility where you picked up your rock and sell all the gems there. You'll sell them in the building that has the orange light on it. I ended up mining all 3 types of the gems. We got Hadanite, Dolovine, and Aphorite. As you can see, Hadanite is worth a whole crap load more than both of those gems. This is most definitely why you want to focus primarily on farming for Hadanite. Once you have made 2.1 million, it'll be time to move on to money-making method number 3. That method will be located in the erkul system, so you've guessed it. We need to move all of our stuff from the local inventory into our ship's inventory, then fly it over there. Of course, moving our items one at a time, instead of having a button that moves them all at once, because you know what, CIG? This is awesome gameplay right here. This is why I play Star Citizen. Just kidding. This right here, folks, this is why I play Star Citizen. It's literally like space pornography, isn't it? Before heading out to the erkul system, make sure to stop by Port Olisar. You're going to hit up Dumper's Depot for some surge modules. And you guessed it, you're going to move those surge modules one at a time because it's engaging gameplay. Time to plot a course over to Arc L1. We are going to be making a new bind location at the Wide Forest Station. Once you have landed, you guessed it, it's your very favorite gameplay element of Star Citizen. You're going to be playing the game of moving all of your stuff from your ship into your new home location. I don't know, I guess it's still a better love story than Twilight. Before we head out to buy our new ship, you can take off that heavy armor that we're using to do rock mining. You're not going to need any weapons or armor to do this next method. You can just use a flight suit and just a stupid newbie helmet. And if you feel like it, you can quickly go to the medical center and create a bind point, so if you die, you respawn here. Time to head back to Lorville in the Hurston system. Yeah, I can smell the sweaty feet already. Head over to New Deal. It's located next to the ship summoning terminals right in the airport, so this is awesome. You just get right out of the elevator, come over here. You're going to be buying a Prospector. For 2,061,000, she is most definitely a steal and your gateway to owning every single ship you want to buy within Star Citizen. You should easily be able to make this amount of money in less than a day doing the rock mining. Fly your Prospector back to Arc L1, then head to the mining supply store. We are going to be buying some Stampede modules. After you snag up your modules, scroll down the list a little bit further. You're going to be looking for the Lancet MH1 mining head. Once you snag up those 2 pieces, head over to the Galleria, go to the 2nd floor, you're looking for Platinum Bay. For categories, click Systems, then click on Quantum Drives. What you're looking to do is purchase the VK00. It is the very fastest military drive that you can stick into your Prospector. Once you have that all sorted, press F1 to open up your Mobiglass, then go over to your Vehicle Loadout Manager. You can only modify ships that are currently stored at your location. First things first, let's stuff that quantum drive in there. Head over to your utilities so we can change out that crappy Arbor mining head to our glorious Lancet MH1 mining laser. I'll be adding a surge module to the first slot, then a Stampede to the second. Once you have all your new parts on the ship, always save changes and equip, or it's not going to do anything, you'll have all your old parts on there still. With this loadout, we can crack any Quantanium rock up to 8.2k without problems, and we don't even need the new gadgets that came with 317. I'll be showing you one of my very favorite places to go mine, which is in the erkul system on Lyra. Alright, apprentice, it's time to do the most profitable thing you can do with your time in Star Citizen. That is Quantanium mining. Just don't get yourself killed by blowing yourself up. Just like we did with the rock mining, head over to OEM1, then look down at the surface. Follow these golden rules to find Quantanium quickly. Quantanium loves cold environments. It also loves to spawn on flat areas around mountain ranges. As you can see, the area under OEM1 is absolutely amazing. Pick any one of the many mountain ridges you'd like to mine next to, apprentice, then engage your cruise control. It'll take about 1.5 minutes to get through the atmosphere to get down to the planet's surface. Just don't crash into it. As soon as I get down through the cloud layer, I'll start pinging. While hunting for Quantanium, you're going to notice that they like to spawn in either what we call a 2-pack or a large group of rocks. This right here happens to be a 2-pack, and unfortunately both of these rocks suck. The other thing our group loves about Lyra is every single time you find a patch of rocks, it will always 100% of the time be Quantanium. Finding a patch also has the added benefit of upping your odds in finding a decent rock to mine, just like this one right here. It's over 7K, has at least 39% quad in it. The good news is I get to demonstrate the surge as well as the stampede for you. It's perfect. Any quant rock over 5.5K and you'll likely have to use a surge module to heat it up. Pay special attention to how much heat that you put into the rock because you're going to need to guesstimate how much you're going to have to put in it on that second surge. While this rock cools off, let me explain how you use your modules. If you notice, the Lancet had 3 expansion bays, and the first one I have surge, the second one I have stampede. Well, if you want to use surge, you'll hold Alt-1, and if you want to use stampede, you would hold Alt-2. If you had another module in the third spot, it would of course be Alt-3. Each module comes with multiple charges. I believe it's 3 per module. We're getting very close here. I'm just about to hit it. Alt-1. That was perfect. I didn't overshoot it into the red area. Now I pressed Alt-2 in order to engage Stampede. That module chews right through the red or the green area quickly. When you are cracking down rocks, only rocks that are highlighted in yellow can be cracked. Make sure that you don't go too much into the red, especially when it's near cracking, or you can blow yourself up. One of my favorite methods for cracking Quantanium is to let the heat rise to the top of the green bar. I then left click, turning the laser intensity to 0, then wheel back up immediately. This keeps it in the green a lot, cutting back on mistakes that can get me killed. Just like the rock, you'll right click to enter extraction mode. One of the golden rules of Quantanium mining is to always crack everything down to purples, which then can be scooped. Quantanium is a very unstable element, apprentice, so the moment you start scooping that onto your Prospector, you're going to get a countdown timer. If it reaches 0, your ship will explode. Another thing you'll want to do while scooping is always make sure you're scooping up the highest percentage pieces first, just to make sure you don't run out of room and leave the really good rocks on the ground. Well, unfortunately, I didn't check good enough. There is another yellow slab of Quantanium. I am now breaking the golden rule. Keep in mind, if you crack this rock in the red whatsoever with Quantanium on board, you will blow up. And it looks like Chris Roberts knew I was breaking the rules, so I crashed. Well, that was unfortunate. So how do I get the reputation of being Hawkeyes for my group, being able to find all the Quantanium super duper fast? Well, it's quite easy. Make sure you press V to get in V-scan. Get in the habit of scanning any of the boxes you're not flying directly towards with your left click on your mouse. Any signal that you find over 5K, this happens to be 10K, will be more than one rock. And you know the golden rule? Quantanium loves to spawn in groups of 2 or patches, so you're basically looking for any signal that's over 5K. I ended up V-scanning this patch from a distance. It came back with a signal strength of 45,000, most definitely a patch. Whenever I'm mining Quantanium solo, I like to try to find rocks that are at least 20% and have a mass of at least 3.5K. I will always make sure to go out mining with a Surge or a Stampede module, just in case I run across a really big rock that I can't crack solo, but I can with those modules installed. This rock right here is over 40%. It is more than a full Prospector load of Quantanium. Man, sure is a pity I don't have a friend with me right now, because that other rock behind me was actually pretty good too. I'll use the same method I always use cracking these rocks solo. I'll heat it up until it gets into the green. Once it does, I'll feather back a little bit, but if it ever gets near the red at all, I'll zero out my beam and wheel right back up immediately. Over and over and over until we get this thing cracked. As I scoop up all this glorious Quantanium, let's talk about playing with friends. You can skip the rock mining step if you have a friend and you both want to rent a Prospector. Alone, you will not be able to crack these Quantanium rocks with the stupid arbor head, but together, you can do it as a team. If you both attempt to crack the exact same rock at the exact same time by having both of your lasers on it, it will create a bigger green window, which will make it so much easier cracking Quantanium rocks. Get to the stage where you're playing with friends and all of you have Lancet mining heads, well, it almost becomes unfair. Just the sheer size of the green window, as well as how stable your power is going into the rock. Now we have a full load of Quan on board. Sure would be a pity if we got interdicted and mowed down by a bunch of pirates, so I highly recommend that you plot a course to anywhere except for where you're going. Pirates know that the majority of people are going to make a direct straight shot to Arc L1 from Lyra. They'll wait just outside the Armistice Zone, EMP your butt, and totally extort you for a bunch of money or kill you. So to entirely avoid that situation altogether, plot to somewhere else, fly for a little bit in Super Cruise, then plot to the actual place you want to go. After you've flown in Super Cruise for just a little bit, disengage it by pressing B, then line up on your actual course and spool there. Now you won't be in the direct lane of pirates, you'll be able to get there without getting ganked. When you're landing, it's extremely important that you don't bump the deck because it can ignite your Quantanium. Highly recommend that you use the auto lander here. It just ensures that you don't blow yourself up. Break your neck to get to the ship summoning terminals as fast as you can. You want to get your Prospector stored right away. Doing so will stop the countdown timer, securing your load. Head over to the refinery deck. This time we're going to go upstairs. If you want to sell your raw ore, you can on those terminals to the left. However, we want to refine our ore because we're going to make much more money by doing so. Super easy to set up a work order. Just pick the ship that has all that raw quant ore in it. Now you'll actually select what type of ore you want to keep and what type of ore you want to get rid of. There are all kinds of different methods to use, so which one do you want to use? Well, I highly recommend that you use the Dinks solventation. That is the very, very best one. Gives you the highest yield for the lowest cost. Second one would be Ferron Exchange. And if you're like me right now, I'm totally broke, trying to get enough money together so I can actually upgrade my Prospector. So I'm actually going to choose a not so efficient method just so I can get my money really quick and get those upgrades on the Prospector. Being impatient is going to cost me a little bit of money. However, I will be able to afford all the upgrades after this order is processed. Once you get a whole bunch of refinery orders stacked up, head back over to R-Corp, hit up the Traveler's Kiosk here. You're going to be running a Constellation Andromeda. It holds 96 SCU of cargo, which is the very largest cargo ship you can rent in the game. This will make moving your Quantanium to the cell location so much easier, as it's going to cut back on a whole bunch of trips. If I did my math right, I believe I have enough Quantanium stashed in order to buy a really good cargo ship, which is going to be the C2 Hercules. If not, well, I guess I'll get the Constellation Taurus. As you can see, I have quite a few work orders completed. I ended up mining for about half a day. This is the very next day they've all completed, and I'm ready to take them down to R-Corp to make a crap load of money. It's super easy to get these work orders loaded on your ship. You just pick the destination of where you'd like it to go, then hit the collect button. As you continue to load your ship, you're going to notice that the cargo capacity keeps shrinking and shrinking. Eventually you're going to get to the point where you do have a bit of space left over, but you will not be able to load a partial order onto your ship. It's either all or nothing. So fill your ship up as much as you can, then head on down to your cell location. I know the one thing's for certain, once we do get our own cargo ship, it's going to be totally glorious. We're going to be making at least 7 to 8 trips in this Connie in order to run all that Quantanium from Arc L1 all the way down to R-Corp. Once you get landed in your hangar, just cut your engines. Don't worry about refueling or repairing your ship. I'm going to show you a trick that's going to bypass the train ride. As soon as you get out of your chair, just exit to the main menu. When you log back in, you'll be in the Habs right next to the business district. Once you get out of the Habs, hang a right, it's going to take you directly to the TDD, which is in the center of town. Once you interact on the TDD and click the sell tab, you can then select your ship, which in our case is the RSI. Now you can sell all the craps that you have in the storage capacity, which is going to earn us a bunch of money. The very best way to avoid the flight back is just to hit the back arrow. That way you're going to appear back at Arc L1 where you're bound. Much easier than flying back. Once you get back to Arc L1, it's about taking that ugly hospital gown off. Then you can put on the flight suit and helmet that you get for free after you die. I guess in Star Citizen it is a white shirt instead of a red shirt. Seems legit. Run down to the ship summoning terminals, then file a claim for your ship. Do not pay for the expedited fee. You'll want to head back to the refinery deck and stuff as many orders into that Constellation Andromeda as she'll hold. Head back to the ship summoning terminals, wait for it to click down to 0 so you can get it right away, then pay the fee. Seeing as how everything else is repetition, I'm going to skip to the very end. This is the very last order I need to deliver in the Constellation Andromeda before we get to go buy our new ship, whatever it is. We're either getting the Taurus or the Hercules C2. Alright, so I could fly over to Hurston and smell a whole bunch of stinky feet to buy the Taurus, or I could just buy the C2 here in ArcCorp. I think I'll probably get the C2. Much like in life, size matters, so I decided to head over to Astro Andromeda to get the Hercules. Such an amazing feeling. I've been playing Star Citizen for the last 3 days now. I got myself my own Prospector, and now I'm about to buy the biggest cargo hauler in the game. Goodbye, money. It sure was nice knowing ya. Not like I can't just make it right back anyway. Aw, man. Now I gotta get the money together to upgrade her, I suppose. Seeing as how I'm broke as a joke, I guess I'm gonna spend the next 2 to 3 hours mining Quantanium so I can afford all the upgrades to pimp out this ship. Just look at her. Yeah! She's just so huge. Here I am about 4 hours later. I've got her completely maxed out. Cha-ching. I hope this video helped your gameplay. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for your time.